Hey everyone, now we start with the 1 hour chart for BNB. Actually, this is the first time I'm analyzing this chart since some of the traders they request for it, and I never trade for BNB. Now we want to see how we can look at it. Okay, in this case we start with the monthly chart. As we can see, based on monthly chart, since last 2 months the price sharply break the previous top and continue. Okay, this is what we get a really big move. And no, we don't have any strip behind that to look at it because this is the top of the price. Okay, I don't think the monthly and weekly even daily can help us if we want to analyze. Okay, and weekly we have nothing to look at, and if we move to the daily, okay, based on the daily, as we can see, similar to the other charts like a Bitcoin, ETH, and other things, and most of the charts we have this down move. Okay, and mostly we want to see whether this is a bigger correction for one more drop, or this one can turn to a bigger, more complex correction before we get the up move, or this is the only correction and this is the start of the up move. Just make it with that simple. Okay, since we have been within this chart move and now we get a correction. Okay, now we want to see how deep this one can go. Okay, how long we will be within this correction. In this case, we move, even the indicators doesn't show us anything. In this case, we move to forward chart. Okay, as we can see, based on forward chart, after the price, they break the highest price. Wait, what is the highest price? Almost 348. We turn to a bigger correction. Okay, first of all, if we want to look at this correction as a first move, okay, we can have internal correction in. We have the flat internally, but the question is, as we can see, the price haven't broke the previous low. That's why if we want to look at this, this is the first wave, or this is the first one. Okay, but if we consider this is the only correction and this is the start of the up move, this is how we're going to look at it. Or still we have the first correction. That means this is the bigger correction. You might make it like this. The first option is this is the only correction in relative to this, and this is the start of the up move. The another one, this big, we're going to have a bigger correction. That means this is the first, this is the internal correction for one more drop. But the question is, this price haven't broke this low yet. That's why how we're going to put this one in relative to this. Okay, in this case, as we can see here, the price, we have this shadow. No, I think because we have seen this kind of the chart in the, for other charts, for the other coins, and when the price drop, after like a Bitcoin get the highest price, we have been seen this source of the type of the correction for most of them. That's why we think this one we consider as a breakout of this. We don't consider this shadow. Why? If we move, just to make it very simple, if we move to line chart, we can see the price break the previous low. We don't have the shadow here. Okay, in that case, we are going to look at this as a first move. Okay, but if we put this one in relative to this, how about the indicators? If I move to the candle, all right, by consideration that this one have broke this low. How about the MACD? We don't have a divergence. And this one shows us the divergence. We have two different results, okay? Because if you want to put this one, this is the only correction relative to this, then this is the start of the up move. We should have a divergence here. This one shows us the second indicator, but the MACD doesn't show. That's why we will have the, no, we go with the both option. This is the only correction, and this is the start of the up move. This is the first, this is the correction in relative to this for one more drop. That's when we will be within bigger correction. And this one more drop, can we expect this drop to break this low? Technically, we can say, if you analyze, we can say yes. But since, as I mentioned, most of the chart, they're following each other, what we expect, whether we go with the first or second option, we don't expect the possibility the price will retest this low is very less, very low. Mostly what we expect, whether the continuation, if we get the buy with the breakout of this top, or we get the better hero high, we get a deeper correction similar to what we have here. We can look for the running flat. Okay, Now, if I consider this is as the first wave, okay, if I want to put my trend line, then I start from here. I will put this way. Even this one haven't broke this low, but I will put here because based on the line chart, I show why. Okay. Now, in this case, I consider now we're going to start to have the continuation for the up move, but what I can expect, I'm expecting whether here or higher, I can get one more correction similar to what we have here for running flat for continuation. This is right now what we can see. Okay, that's why if I want to buy here, I need to get a correction. Right now, based on forward, I don't have it. And if the price break this top, which is 283, I need to be quite careful. Maybe the price can, if there is a continuation break, and then start to correct. That's why if you want to look for buy, we need to be quite careful. That's may we get this correction. And also for those they want to sell, this is what they can look for. Okay. But based on forward chart, we don't have any trade set up, whether for buy or sell. And if I move to 1 hour chart, we see we don't have any trade set up. How about the indicators? Doesn't show us anything. Okay. And if there is a continuation, we cannot buy. The only way we can do is that if I move to forward chart, I put my line here for the breakout of this. Having entry above the top can be option. It depends on the traders because now if even we put this one, we see what we have here. The way is like a triangle in relative to this, and this one can continue. Okay, I don't trade the head and shoulder, but some of the traders maybe they put these things in relative to each other and they want to expect this move. Okay, that's why having entry above the stop, which is 283. Okay, may I change this one to 83? Can be an option. But what we want with having entry above the top, if there is a continuation from here, we want the price sharply break and continue the price tag, and within 1 or 2 hours is not moving, we take out the trade. Okay, but having entry above the top is really risky because as I mentioned, easily price can tag and reverse. Okay, it depends on the traders. If they want to trade, if they get the trade within 1 or 2 hours is not moving, they can take out the trade. Then the second option, if the price continue from here, we wait for the tag to break. Any correction, a small flag from the top, we look for buy. Okay, and the best things is this two option I right now I give in case there is a continuation, we don't get the correction here. And the best things is if we can get the correction here, if we get one more drop at least, then from there any reversal we can look for buy. And the best things is if we get the at least more complex. Okay, similar to what we have here, we have been within this move. Okay, we get this, that's mean we get one move down, then from there any look for any buy we look for. Okay, this is what I want to show. We had this move, this is what we have it. We get the drop is very drop, next one, next one. Okay, that's why I want to look for one more down, one more down at least, because what we have here is a big correction. This is what I wanted. That's why still I'm thinking if the price drop one more, it can give me a better trade setup. And if I move to 15 minutes, for me, if I want to trade, I prefer one more drop. At least I'll get this flat. Then how deep it can go. Then from there, whether I have if I want to have a entry above the top again, I prefer to get one more drop. Okay. And if we get one more drop, depends how deep it can go. Any reversal with the sharp and move and flag, we can look for buy, but depends how deep it can go and whether we can get the trade or not. Okay, right now we don't have any trade set up. The only thing is if the price continue having an entry above the top of the breakout and give us a correction. But if this one become a deeper correction, it can give us better confirmation for the continuation, and especially if we get one move similar to what we have here, because most of the chart now they have this one. Okay, anyway, we just follow the chart, and right now we don't have any trade setup. The only thing is we're looking for this. If we get any buy setup, we can look for buy, and this one is start to move as a correction. Any flag with a sharp move, we can look for sell to the test the trend line. And if I may move to forward chart, as I explained, From what we can see, the possibility of the price to retest this low is very less. Mostly we can expect a bigger correction, whether from here or even the price move higher for continuation. But just now, I mean, it's better we follow the chart. If we see any changes, then from there we can have update. Anyway, if I see any trade setup or changes, then I will share. Thanks.